Hello everybody, I'm Duff and welcome to another VIP tournament. A fun chance for you guys at home to play along with some players, some game developers, and even some celebrities. As you guys navigate through 18 holes playing alongside them, we're going to give you some missions to complete. And as you complete those missions, we're going to throw some really good prizes at you. Now, the tougher the player, the better the rewards. Now, joining us today, he's been playing Ultimate Golf for a very long time. You've seen him at the top of a lot of leaderboards. We affectionately call him Banger. Jimmy, welcome to your VIP tournament. Hey, man.
Hey, Duffy. How you going, brother?
I am doing very well. I've been looking forward to this one for a long time. Obviously, we've been friends for, we were just talking, almost 3 years now. Let's go and have some fun with this.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm excited to play ranks.
Absolutely. Jimmy is going to be playing Randpark today, the beautiful South African course down there in Joburg. And we've kind of, we're throwing a little handicap at him today. He's going to use nothing better than a Pro D ball. So, Banger, let's see what you got over 18 holes here at Randpark as you tee off on hole number 1.
Yeah, so I found out just before we're about to tee off that I was stuck with Pro Ds, so I haven't had any practice. This is going to be very interesting.
That's all right. No expectations. We're here to have a little bit of fun, to get to know the man known as Banger, and maybe find ourselves a drop or two along the way.
If I can fashion a drop with these balls, I will be very happy.
So, Banger, you and I have been playing this game together. I think it's like just about the very beginning. I got in a couple months before you. I remember when you were brand new, and we had a little side group going, us along with some others. But you took this game by storm very, very early on. I know you put in a lot of time and effort into that. Talk us through a little bit, as you're going through this shot here, about that first couple months of learning Ultimate Golf. What was that experience like?
Yeah, so obviously I have played a few different golf games in the past. Was able to bring some of that knowledge over here, but it's certainly the physics of this game are quite a bit different, which was a fun new challenge for me. But yeah, it took me a couple of months to understand sort of some of the key things that were going on, but there was a few things I figured out pretty quickly, and that led me to success pretty quickly in the game. As you said, we all got together early on. I think, there was a group of about 8 of us that got together and all learnt the game together, which obviously was a lot of fun. But we shared our findings and refined that over time, and I came up with a couple of mathematical formulas to do a few different things in the game, and from there we just started smashing it. It was great.
So Banger was the first one to realize that just smashing it off the tee, the old grip it and rip it formula, was probably not the best method for getting those low scores. And you'll see here on hole 1 here, just like he laid up kind of back to Bigfoot range, he was kind of the first one to figure out Bigfoot is the way to go. Oh, Banger leads it 1 inch left with the 899. And that's with the big win, folks. That's with the big win. Oh, nice shot, buddy. That
wasn't as good as my drop with the white ball in the Triple C the other day. That was fun.
That was fantastic. Yeah, so you'll see, people ask, I'm sure you get a lot of questions all the time too. Duff, Banger, what's your number one? What are some tips? What's your number one tournament tip? And mine has always been, don't just hit the ball as far as you can off the tee. Have a plan, hit to a distance, a repeatable distance. In this case, for me, I hit to max Bigfoot range. Well, you're doing the same thing here. And that is definitely #1 tournament tip for playing this game, and that is all came down to, and we have Mr. Banger to thank for that. So good work, man. You changed the course of this game.
Thanks, mate. I'd like to think that we've all been a part of it. I mean, like I said before, there was a strong group early on in the game that was very generous with their time. I think that's safe.
That was close. That little pucker factor there as that headed towards the right rough. Real nice tailwind on approach here, though.
It is. I'm going to stick with root, though. I've been playing root a lot lately with lower backspin, and been having a bit of fun with it. So we're just mucking around today. If I get a couple of drops, it'll be nice, but I'm just going to have a bit of fun.
It is fun to just throw the ball around sometimes, have a little bit of fun. I know we recently brand new tournament format, Player's Choice. Same thing that we had the opportunity to over the weekend. Just throws the balls around, have a little bit of fun, something different, something new. Remember back in the old days, we used to have some tournaments. We had some groups together. We did all sorts of fun stuff. Some Ryder Cup stuff where we took some top scores and bottom scores and middle scores. And I think that speaks a lot. That was kind of the precursor to the CCC, really. And just speaks to the community that's involved in Ultimate Golf, hanging out with some of the other clubs. And we had a pretty good group going there as well. Get in the hole.
Oh, nice and close. Nice and close.
1786 with the Pro D1.
So yeah, we've been adding those little things to the game for a long time, haven't we? I think we started our own private tournament against each other probably 6 months after we started. We've been making it fun, building friendships, sharing tips for a long time now.
Absolutely. Now, you are the holder of a couple of records in this game. One of them being 100 wins in a row. They absolutely unheard of now. And not only did you do it once, you did it twice. So, for the people at home, this isn't just winning a couple of tournaments, or this was 100 tournaments in a row. Talk us through what you got up to. When did you start to get nervous? Around the 40 mark, the 50 mark? When did it start?
I actually, before I got to 100, I think it was about a 30 or a 40 streak, and every tournament I entered, I was nervous. It was, the pressure was there, and then one of my good mates beat me on tiebreaker, I think. And I kind of let go of the pressure. So the next one, I wasn't really focusing on the run, but I think I did start to get nervous the second time I had a decent run when I was about 60. Every tournament that I entered after that was pressure. But then the second 100 run, I wasn't actually sort of going for anything, so it just happened that I kept having some success, and I think it wasn't until about 85, 87 or something that I really started to get nervous. I was pretty much shaking every tournament I entered.
It is funny how, and we've all experienced it, where you're coming down the backstretch there, hole 16, 17, 18, maybe you need one drop, maybe you need 3 of the last 3 to win. And you do kind of get your little tingly, you get a little nervous, and don't lie, if you hit a big drop, I still, to this day, give a little yes, or a wah. I know it's just a game, but it kind of means something.
Yeah, that never goes away. That's one good thing. Like, if you love the game, you enjoy getting those drops. So I've never lost that, thankfully.
So I think that comes with growing up and playing competitive sports. Now, I think you played a little bit of sports growing up, didn't you?
I did. I played a lot of sport, actually. I was a golfer. I played regional golf for about 3 or 4 years. But I played football, which you guys call soccer. We actually call it soccer here too, but football's finally starting to catch on. Get in there, come on, go, yes!
Yeah, baby! Nice drop, banger!
I'll take that one. See, look at that, I got excited. We were just talking about it.
Absolutely. Before you go on, the name of the Australian soccer team is the...
Socceroos.
Are they not the Socceroos? Yeah. It's the most amazing name ever.
Yeah. It's the Socceroos.
Alright, so you played some golf, you played some soccer. What else you got out there? Cricket? Rugby? What else you do?
I played cricket in high school, and I played rugby union and rugby league. And I was also in the school swimming team. I did rowing for about 3 years. That's pretty much it.
Talented Mr. Ripley here.
Yeah, I love the sports, but I was also a musician. So music was my focus. I played piano and bass guitar throughout high school.
You're stealing all my later questions on me here, Bag.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
No, you're good. No, I've actually had the pleasure of listening to some of your music from back in the day. A lot of little punk, little ska, maybe a little Seattle grunge. A lot of the influences in there. Do you have your music taste change over the years? If I give you on an island and one album to listen to right now, what are you picking?
That's a loaded question.
I'm going Pearl Jam 10.
Funnily enough, I would actually probably choose a Beatles album. Maybe Revolver, but probably the White Album because it'd give me more music to listen to. But I discovered the Beatles when I became a musician. My dad showed me a Beatles song. I was playing one on piano and I didn't even know. It was one of the first songs I learnt, but I loved the song. And my father, bless his heart, he stayed up late one night because there was a special on the radio, and he recorded. It was to coincide with the Beatles documentary series that was on, and he recorded the whole thing on cassette tapes for me. And it was just before our Christmas summer holiday, and I spent that holiday at the beach listening to this thing on repeat, and I grew to love the Beatles from that. So yes, I would think if I had to choose an album that I had to take on a deserted island, I would be going with the Beatles.
And in the middle of all that, we caught the fact that he said Christmas, summer, and beach all in the same sentence. My brain has a tough time wrapping around that. But I know it happens.
You've been fortunate enough to... that one's a bit wide.
That's the one we're giving the players a chance on.
You've been fortunate enough to see all of my summer holiday photos and videos. It's yes, we're very lucky in Australia. We get to enjoy Christmas and summer at the same time.
Absolutely. Bandit Banger -7 through 4 here at Randpark on his VIP tournament, and we have our par 3 hole 5. Let's see what he can get done with this Pro D1. Now, you were talking about recording on cassettes. I imagine back in the old days, back on the farm, Jimmy had quite the interesting early life. Obviously, he spent a lot of time playing sports. What we hear there? Golf, basketball, football, soccer, swimming, piano, everything. Grew up in the sticks, didn't you? What do you call it down there? It's not the country.
Yeah,
what do you call it?
We call it the sticks. And yes, I did. I grew up on a 600-acre sugarcane farm in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, sort of northern New South Wales, about 7 hours from Sydney, and mate, I had the most fantastic childhood. I was so lucky to live where I lived. We had motorbikes and a Jeep that we drove around the farm, and we lived right on the river, so we had a boat that we could drive around in. It was a small community, but there was a lot of kids my age, so we all just ran amok together. I seriously had the best childhood. I was very lucky, and so I lived on the farm till I was about 19, and then went off to uni. But great place to grow up.
These stories are fantastic, Banger. We're going to remind you, keep that target moving.
I'm a going.
That is pretty cool, though. That's awesome. A lot of stories like that, obviously, here. I'm Canadian, and I grew up in a fairly small town as well. Not on 600 acres of sugarcane, though. Getting the whole Banger.
Very wide.
That is cool. That is very well-rounded youth for yourself, it sounds like.
It was, absolutely.
Now, you've also done a little bit of snowboarding. Are you a skier or a snowboarder? Let's talk about that.
Both. So I started skiing before I started snowboarding. I skied for maybe 18 months, and then picked up a snowboard and fell in love with that. So I grew up surfing, obviously, because we live near the beach, and
obviously.
Yeah.
How wild is that statement?
Snowboarding was a much better fit for me. So yeah, I've done a few trips around the place. Probably my favourite was a trip to Japan over Christmas, New Year in 2010-11. We did nearly a month in Niseko, which is on the North Island. And that was an amazing trip. So I've snowboarded pretty much. I haven't been for a few years, actually. I busted my back while I was snowboarding in Japan, and I've been a few times since, but it takes a lot. It's a lot of effort to recover.
It's getting old. This is what happens when you get old, Banger.
Yeah.
I snowboarded for a lot of years. I started when I was in my mid-teens, and then just a couple years ago, when my daughter, my youngest, got old enough to start us going to the mountains, and she was a skier. I went, I think I gotta go back to skiing. It's a little easier on this old body. Now, is there a lot of? Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, next time I go to the snow, I'll probably actually give the skis a go again. I think, as you say, a little bit less intensive on the body.
Skiing technology has also changed a lot in the last 20 years. I was impressed with everything that was involved in skiing. Are there a lot of mountains in Australia? I'm so ignorant, I don't know. I really don't.
Oh,
893. Like if you wanted to go skiing, if it's the dead of winter and you want to go skiing tomorrow, how far you got to go?
For me, not far. About an hour. I live closest to the biggest mountain in Australia that is good for the snow. So Mount Kosciuszko, which is actually the biggest mountain in Australia. I'm about an hour away. So it's pretty accessible for me. But if you're in Sydney or Brisbane's obviously a long way away, but if you're in Sydney, it's about a 5-hour trip if you want to drive. But yeah, it's a pretty good mountain if they get a good snow dump, but it's nothing like what you get in some of the better countries. Australia's not great for snow, obviously. It's pretty warm over here, but when we get a season...
I grew up in British Columbia, with definitely some of the best skiing in the world, best mountains in the world. And I didn't realize how good it was until I moved away and went, what? Everyone just doesn't have world-class mountains? You don't drive for 45 minutes just to get to the base of the ski hill? I always tell a good story when I first moved to Ontario. How my buddies took me skiing, and we drove, and we finally got to we just parked. Like, there was my ears didn't pop, we didn't go up anything, we just parked at the bottom of the mountain, and there were chairlifts. I was like, what have I done? Like, what is going on? And we just got out, put your boots on, and then got on the chairlift and went up. It was definitely eye-opening. All right, Banger, we're off to a good start.
I'm pretty happy with this start, mate. That's pretty good. Like I said at the start, I was happy if I got a couple of drops, so I'm halfway there.
You're good. You've had that start of gangbusters on 1 there, the 899, and then the drop on 3. Couple other close ones. You're also getting the very fun crosswinds.
I am.
Doesn't make life easy.
Always good with a Pro D. I don't mind a crosswind with a good ball, but Pro D and crosswind are tough.
Oh, absolutely.
Look at that.
And
crosswind.
And going back to the route. Back to basics.
Yeah, I want the backspin. Limit that secondary wind.
So, people that normally know their numbers and know their adjustments and whatever, if they're near Bigfoot, they're going to be roughly the wind divided by 1.1. Remind the people, Banger, when using a Pro D1, those rings are a little smaller, right? So what percent are you adding? So for everyone that's playing along here that wants to play along with you using a Pro D, what's your formula there? What's the difference between a Pro D and a regular ball?
So there is about a 12% difference in ring size between Pro D and regular balls. I use a slight variation to that. Because I'm playing Tour Pro with higher winds, I actually add a little bit of an offset to compensate for the extra secondary wind. So 12% extra for the ring size, so that means my adjustment is going to be 12% more, but then I add a little bit more to that to give myself more of an offset. Just means you can set up you can set up like a normal shot and still be pretty confident you'll get close.
And we've all done that, and you feel like a genius when you've made your adjustment or you're setting up, and then you just by feel add that little tick one way or the other. And I don't think there's anything greater than adding that little tick and it drops. Oh! Or when you add that extra tick and then it ends up like that, and you're like, why did I do that?
So that one, because I was pulling downhill, it changed the wind effect on the ball. I should have known. It reduces it a little bit, so I probably should have under adjusted there. Nice little tip. That if you have a look at my YouTube channel, I go through that in quite a bit of detail. Actually, that's one of my more popular videos. That one.
Oh, look at this tailwind! Hole 9 Randpark.
I'm right to use Pro DX, right?
Go whatever. Go right to a basic if you want. What did we say? Nothing greater than a Pro D. Use whatever you want.
All right, let's have a look. What do we got? 11 miles an hour? Yeah, let's go there. All right.
We'll go free balls.
Yeah. Got to try and hit perfect. That's the only problem with my hobby. Oh, look at that. Got the ultimate. Let's see how close I get. Roll.
Oh, she's going to get up there.
Ooh. Still a bit of distance there, I think.
Ooh. A little bit of work to do there, Bagger.
Little bit. Little bit indeed. So
So Hive, obviously the wedge of choice now. For a long time, we remember the progression. Zeus, we went Zeus for a long time, and then Atlas, and then definitely nothing. Hive all the way now.
Yeah, so I was very late to max my Hive. I think you guys have been playing with Hive for about 6 months before I finally maxed it. Yes, get in there.
There we go.
There's
So there you go. You got your 2 Eagles on the frontier. Mr. Banger, minus 13 through 9 on a fantastic start to the Banger VIP tournament. All right, Banger, we had a hot dog and a beer turn there. Nice catching up with you. And here we go. Hole 10, back 9 at Randpark. See if we can find another drop or 2 along the way.
That's the plan, mate. That's the plan. Maybe 1, as I said. I wanted 2 drops. I've got 2, so let's try and get another one now.
Tough hole here. This is a pretty long par 4.
Yeah, there's a couple of long ones on the back 9, and then there's that awfully long par 5. So we'll see how I go. I don't know how a Pro D on that long par 5 is going to look, but we'll get a chance to see that very shortly.
Number is it 12 or 13? We're going to be hoping for a tailwind there. That is I remember when this course first came in the game. That it was definitely one of the first par 5s that was like the unreachable. And then, as we all do, as we play games, we hunted and pecked and found a little spot. And I'm sure Banger will show us this when we get to this hole. There's a little hot spot just on the other side of that trap that you can get to, and that'll get you up and on that green for that very, very precious tiebreaker points. Cornering tailwind here on approach, which is about the worst you can have.
I'm getting the tough wins today, that's for sure.
Well, we also talked about you winning 100 tournaments in a row, twice in a row, so don't think we're going to gift you nothing but headwinds.
Yeah. Everyone's heart bleeds for me, I hear it.
Yeah, exactly. So, Whiskey Business, one of the founding members of Whiskey Business, which of course started with our little Slack group that we had before that. Get in the hole here, Banger. Get in the hole. Oh, it was there.
Oh, close.
Nice shot, man. Gave it a run, just a little long. Burning the left edge. So how did the game change for you when country clubs came in? I know we had our little thing before that, but just talk a little bit what it means to be part of a country club, and specifically ours. I'm going to include myself, specifically Whiskey Business.
Yeah, so I can only really talk to my experience, but we have genuinely found a really great bunch of mates. There's been pretty much no turnover. Once you sort of come to Whiskey Business, that's your home forever kind of thing. But great bunch of guys. We have a lot of fun. I know everyone thinks that we're always talking about the game and all we do is push each other to win. But if you have a look at our chat, 99% of it is life and 1% is golf. But we certainly enjoy succeeding together. So, there's a lot of great players in our club, and for sure, the introduction of clubhouses, really gave us a strong group to build some good friendships from.
Absolutely, and if you're watching this right now and playing along on the Banger tournament, and you're not a member of a country club, go down there on the little bottom right-hand side of that main screen, click that country club, and just go in and find one. They're searchable, whether you want to search by country, search by a name, if you have a sports team you like or a certain area that you like, throw anything in, and keep trying until you get a nice fit. Honestly, I've made some of my closest friends in life right now through this game that we all love to play. And so if you're not a member of a country club, either put yourself out there. Go and join one, or go on the Facebook group, say you're looking for one, but just go out and do it. Trust me, you will not regret it. All right, Banger, we got ourselves a little tailwind here.
And not a bad wind. I'm nervous about how hot this one's going to come in after that last shot, but let's see how we go here.
It is tough.
Line should be good.
We've heard, get in the hole. Oh,
Get in the
yes, baby! Banger! Big drop. 7.2 mile an hour. About 20 degrees off a perfect tailwind, and he finds the bottom of the cup with the Pro D1. Banger sitting, I believe, minus 16 after 11. Now this is it. Hole 12, and of course... Headwind off the tee.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for this headwind.
Shout out to Hip Brent.
Thanks, Brent.
Yeah. So this is a tough hole. You know what? This course absolutely looks beautiful, though. I was doing a little bit of research here on Randpark earlier today. Got to see some real life pictures, which practically we're looking at right now. That tower is actually in the back there as well. The true to form on this game is absolutely ridiculous. It's bang on. But what a beautiful part of the world.
It's seriously, the graphics, the rendering of these holes in this game is phenomenal. You feel like you're playing the actual course sometimes. It's great.
It is cool, and especially I find myself playing obviously a lot more in the winter when you can't get out and play. Like during the day and that, and then in the summertime, definitely late at night, get yourself a little beverage, and sit outside. And it starts off, I'm just going to play, you know what, I'm just going to play one tournament. Next thing you know, you're having some chats with the boys, maybe a beer or two, and it's 4 hours later.
We've done that several times, haven't we?
Oh, we definitely have. I still remember the very first time we had like a group call. I think it was by accident. It was we had a Facebook group. This was in the new group. We had a Facebook group, and I think I had butt dialed everyone. And we ended up, I think, like we chatted for like 90 minutes, and people just kept coming in and out, and just so goes back to that point. Join the country club, folks.
Yeah, that's been one of the biggest things for us. I think we there's always someone pocket dialing, and we all jump on, and that call usually ends up lasting for an hour, so it's fun.
I famously did it last Friday as I was getting ready, and I was late to leave for a hockey game.
And who was the first person that jumped on that call?
Banger was there right away with a, hey mate. It was also late for Banger. Banger, are you a beer guy or a whiskey guy?
I'm a whiskey guy.
Red wine, white wine.
Red wine. White wine makes me silly.
You've been down around my way, have you not? Down Niagara on the Lake, wine territory? I know you're in Syracuse, across the other side of the lake.
Yep, so I used to work for an American company, and maybe once every 2 or 3 months, once every 2 or 3 months. Oh, get in, come on.
Get in the hole. Saves the eagle.
That one was
How good is that voodoo? How good is that voodoo?
It is such a good rough line. Yeah, so I went to the US maybe every 3 months to go to the head office, and it was in Rochester, so very close to the Canadian border, and every single trip that I did, we went to Niagara because it is breathtaking.
It is cool. We go to the States all the time, and we'll cross the Niagara Falls, and I say every time to my wife, I said, look out the window, look at the falls. I said, people travel from all over the world to look at this. Don't you dare stare at your phone as we go over that Rainbow Bridge. Same thing with the kids. Look at the falls, 100%. Kids. Look at the falls.
100%. It's beautiful.
And of course,
yeah, love that place.
the American Falls, not a lot to look at. The American Falls, the Horseshoe Falls are the ones you want to see. But no, it's a fantastic, it's a fun little town.
I have not actually experienced the American side. I think I've been to Niagara 4 times, and every time we cross the border.
You're not missing much. Anyway, we did discover after we'd known each other for a while that we do have something in common from back in the old days. That being aviation. Of course, myself, I was an air traffic controller for a long time. I still love aviation, everything to do with aviation. And I do believe you had your rec license at one point, your private pilot's license, did you not, Mr. Banger?
I sure did. Yep, I flew small planes for about 6 years. I was in the Air Force, not as a pilot. I was an engineer, but I had my private license. So I did lots of hours in a small plane, just in a Cessna. But love being in the sky. I really need to get back into it.
It is something. I've been talking about it for years of going to get my rec license and start flying. And then COVID hit. It is what it is. But absolutely, yeah, just being in the air and anything to do with aviation, I love it. I take the kids out all the time to go to the airport and do some plane spotting.
Yeah, so
all right, get the ball here.
Oh, I think it's going to be wide.
Oh, short left. Good job. Pulling up the hill. Needs a little bit of an over-adjust.
I should have gone and watched a video on YouTube about that issue. I know a guy that's got one.
It is yours. I'm sure we'll get a link to your channel in here, so we'll sneak one in here somewhere. So some of the terminology you guys have heard so far, you've heard us say secondary wind. So that is after the ball makes contact with the ground the first time. The shot view that you see, that's going to change, and that's that secondary wind kicking in. So if you have a headwind, your shot view, your guide that you can see is going to compress. If you have a tailwind after that first bounce, it's going to expand. So that's one of the terms you've heard us say. What else are we talking about? Elevation there. So when we're talking elevation, so when you're making your adjustment, so when he's on the green and he's pulling the target down a hill, that's going to require you to have a little bit of a less adjustment than what you normally would. And in the case of that last hole where he was pulling up a hill, he's going to have to over adjust. So that means he's going to have to pull a little bit more than he's used to. So if you have questions about those three things, there is just a quick little rundown of what those three things meant. And absolutely, you can go check out Jimmy's channel. And he's got some more in-depth looks and analysis at those types of shots. Not a very nice wind here on this number 14 par 5.
It sure isn't. Yeah. I might get a chance to feature the video again, I think.
We're, maybe coming out of the sand here, too. Which... So here's another thing that people are so afraid to go in the sand, or they get nervous, or they don't know what to do. And I know you didn't play Royales all that frequently in the first, let's call it the first half of your ultimate golf experience. And then because you're so damn competitive, I know you started playing a few, you had to get your 25 in for the Ultimate Cup, and then Bagger Mode kicked in, and you went, you know what, I'm going to get good at these. How much fun are Royales once it clicks? Once it kind of, that's how you do it.
Oh, come on.
It's in the hole. In the hole.
So you're right. I didn't play Royales a lot in the early days. I was very tournament focused, but when the Ultimate Cup came out, I obviously was forced to do it, but very quickly got competitive, and they're one of my favourite parts of the game. I love Royales now, and I like all of them. Some of the guys don't like to play the different formats as much because they're very good at a specific format, but I don't mind taking my medicine on the ones that I'm not great at. So yeah, I play as much as I can. I'm much better at the quick shot method, but I don't mind the 6 shooters as well. I think it's a great part of the game.
So I found that tournaments are very like individual. It's kind of like a solo sport. You kind of just play at your own pace, which I love the aspect of this, that you kind of just go whatever you want. There's no one with you. But some of the most fun I've had playing Ultimate Golf over this last couple of years has been during a hangout session, whether it's on Facebook or Zoom or Discord or whatever it is. And we'll get a whole bunch of us together. We might have a pop or two, and from all over the world. And we'll all jump in together and play Royales every half hour. And golly, it is so much fun having a whole group of you together, all playing the same one at the same time. And absolutely the most fun I've had playing this game. So if you're not proficient at Royales and you want to get better, definitely reach out. Again, join a country club, guys. Join a country club. Get together with some friends, have a little hangout session, and as you're talking, look at this with the Pro Ds.
He's in again
with the ace. We're sitting here talking. You know what? Let's make him play with the Pro Ds so he doesn't get a pile of drops. So it's a little bit more on like the medium on the scale. That's how good this guy is. Look at this. Dropping the Pro D. That's not easy, guys. That is not easy at all.
That one was fun. So you would have seen me pull back up after I took my shot, after I did my adjustment there, and that goes to the elevation discussion we were having just a minute ago. So you lose a lot of distance when you pull downhill like that. So I had to pull back up to adjust my shot, and it worked.
So you can see Banger kind of picking his spots off the tee. And we spoke to that earlier. Instead of the grip it and rip it, it's fun every once in a while to go out there and just hit that driver as far as you can. If you do want a little bit of success in this game and increase your chances at getting drops, so a drop is an eagle on a par 4, an albatross on a par 5, or an ace on a par 3. Definitely you want to kind of start planning out your course management a little bit and picking your spots, and that's exactly what we've seen Banger do throughout this first 16 holes in this VIP tournament here at Randpark.
Yep. You really don't need to blast it. It's percentage play in this game is a much smarter option than blasting it as far as you can off the tee every time.
Now, don't get me wrong. If I get a tailwind on a course that I haven't played before, especially in the big winds, and now that we've got these pins, I am giving every single hole a go. I'm like, let's do it. Tailwind, yeah. All right, throw that DXmas on, throw some pins on, and just hit it as far and as long as you can. And you'd be surprised, there are even some par 5s in this game that you can drive the green with. You don't even need pins, but it certainly helps. But all you need is a DX or the Christmas DX, the DXmas, and a tailwind, and you can actually put it through the green on a par 5.
Absolutely.
All right,
that's fun too.
This one's gonna be close.
Ooh,
this
close.
One's gonna be close. Oh, kick left. That was not the wind. That was the break in the green. Tricky little left or right to left there, right at the hole on that pin 3.
I think we had a little bit of a downhill pull there too, so that, as you were saying, caused a bit of an overpull.
All right, we got a par 3 and a par 4 left. We're sitting a minus 24 through 16. So we're looking, it's Banger. We're looking at a guaranteed minus 26 here with the possibility of a 28. Now, Banger, I know you've dedicated a lot of your own time, actually, to charity and that. I do believe you sit on the board for a charity down there in Aussie land. We've also had the opportunity to raise some money for the Starlight Foundation down there in Australia. Without getting into too much detail, I know you've had the opportunity to take advantage of some of that stuff. But I know, just talk about the giving back aspect of all this. I know we did it as Whiskey Business, and we kind of got together and doing that. But I just want to say thanks for basically giving up your time and being involved in stuff like that. But what drives you to do that?
So I've got a personal interest in the charity that I'm involved in. So I think some of the people in the game will be aware. My eldest daughter has a critical illness. She was... Oh, hang on a sec.
That timing could not have been worse. My daughter has a critical illness, and I go... Anyway...
Yeah, so when she was 7 years old, she had a kidney transplant. So we've battled health issues her whole life. But I am on the board of a foundation called The Gift of Life, which aims to promote organ donation in Australia, which we have a lot of trouble with, unfortunately. So yeah, our mission is to promote organ donation in the community here in Australia. But I've actually always sort of had an involvement in different charities over time. I think, giving back is one of those things that's just human nature. I think we're community animals, so I think it's just something that most humans feel not obliged, but feel like they want to do. And it's been really rewarding being part of improving such a critical health element in the country. So thanks for bringing that up, mate. As I said, I've got a personal interest, but if you guys aren't on any organ registry, have a look into it. It's I can say personally that it saved my daughter's life, and gave her life back. She was able to be a kid again, and for a 7-year-old kid to have that opportunity through the generosity of a stranger is so big. So yeah,
absolutely. So do the research, go out. I know ours is on our health card here in Canada. Go out there, sign up, get on that organ donation list. Absolutely, 100%. As an air traffic controller, it was always heartbreaking for us on a Friday or Saturday night. You'd see 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning the medevac coming into a small town, and you'd go, oh god, there must be some accident or something. And then you would see 4 or 5 medevacs leaving the small town, and you knew that there was heart going somewhere, there was a lung going somewhere, there was a kidney going somewhere, maybe some eyes going somewhere. So it was almost a sweet.
Yeah.
In a somber moment, there was a little bit of light in there. But yes, go sign up, people. Don't just do it. All right, Banger. Hole 18. This is a tough finishing hole. 8.2 crosswind, just a tiny little bit of headwind component here. We are staring down, I believe, a 26, maybe a 27. If he can get this route to go. It's been a fun little journey, man. Not only this entire Ultimate Golf experience, but these 18 holes. Good shooting, man. This is you put a little clinic on here with these D1s. I'm not gonna lie. You've done very, very well.
I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out. When I heard that Pro Ds were on the menu, I was a bit worried, but this has been fun. It's good.
It was, I believe I prefaced the text, all right, don't hate me, but here's what's happening.
You may have used those words, yeah.
There might have been something else in there, but all right, here we have it. The final shot. The final approach shot, at least.
Come on. Let's make it.
We've gone through 18 holes with Bandit here at Randpark on another VIP tournament. Will he finish strong? Come on, secondary. Kick in. Just short.
Brutal. Brutal.
Well, Banger, it has been an absolute slice to play these 18 holes. To watch you play these 18 holes, have a little chat with you. Let the people at home kind of figure out who you are into the life of Banger just a little bit. The floor is yours, big guy. Anything you want to say, go ahead.
So obviously, thanks for the invite, Hip. This was a lot of fun, even though you forced me to play with Pro Ds. But had a lot of fun doing it. Thanks for your time, Duff. Always fun to hang out with you, buddy. We've done it a lot over the years, and this is, if nothing else, it's fun just hanging out with a good mate. And if you haven't had a look yet, I'm going to plug my YouTube channel. So go over to YouTube and check out my channel, which is called Ultimate Golf Caddy. I've got a lot of videos on there that will give you some more detailed guidance to some of the stuff that we've talked about today. You might even see me use Pro Ds in a couple of rounds, and hopefully I can help you guys improve at the game. So thanks, everyone.
Absolutely. Make sure you go check out his channel on YouTube. Tons of good advice. Any advice I took that got me to where I am today. So that's it. That's the end of another VIP tournament. Hope you guys had fun. Did you beat Banger? Did you not? If not, go back, watch it again, hole for hole, because you can see exactly every adjustment he made. I'm Duff. I'm your host, and we're going to be back with many, many more of these. We will see you.